Hey, I'm Naya. Welcome back to the channel. So today I have another deck profile for you, and I'm joined by Ivan Emanuel. He actually played Altergeist at the Summer Cup that happened on Sunday. They had 68 people, and he got top 8. So I decided to invite him to the channel. And yeah, he's just gonna talk to me about Altergeist a bit. So if you're interested in that, stick around. Welcome to the channel. I'm really glad you could join me. Anything to say before we start?
Thank you for having me on the channel.
Yeah.
I played Altergeist. I think the deck is real good in today's format. It has no bad matchups. It just has at least 50-50s. I would like to thank everyone who lended me the cards for the tournament that was missing. I have proxies right now because I landed 2 permanents for the event, so don't have them on me.
Okay. That's completely fine.
Yeah, so and yeah, I pretty much played the basic Altergeist list. There's not really that much of spice, but yeah.
Well, do you want to talk about your matchups first? Did anything interesting
yeah,
happen
sure,
during
yeah,
this
yeah.
tournament?
First round, I went against Salmon Great. That matchup is pretty much who wins the Darrow wins.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
then I played against Dragoon Drytron. That's the hardest matchup because of Dragoon. I won game 1 from Shifter. And then
okay.
game 3 I had Secret Village and he couldn't play through it. Then my matchups were played against one more Drytron. It's the same thing. He put Dragoon, I outdid to it. He outdid himself with his Zeus when I bounced because I had a full board, but I bounced his Zeus and he chained and outed his own Dragoon. So I won from there.
Okay.
My only loss in Swiss was against Prankids, where game 3 he had Ash on my pot and Coldbite on Shifter.
Oh, okay.
So that was my only Swiss loss. And in Top Cut, my loss was against Dragons. He had Ash on pot and double Gozen. So yeah, that was pretty much. That was pretty much that. That was my only 2 losses this weekend. And yeah, the rest of the matches weren't really that interesting. I played against Live Twin, where I just bounced in the standby phase and they can't play. I played against what else was it? I played zero Tri Brigade in the Swiss, and I hoped they would play in the top. But yeah, I was really prepared for that matchup, but didn't play any of them.
Oh, okay.
I played 2 Drytron, 1 Salmon Great, one Prankids, 1 Live Twin, and 1 Shadow Invoke Domatica. There I just opened order game 1 and game 2. Game 2 was just easy. I had ordered game 1 and they can't play through it ever.
Wow, why did you choose Altergeist? That's my biggest question.
I think Altergeist are really good this format. There's not really many combo decks. There's only real combo deck is Dragon Link, and Dragon Link is honestly garbage, but they play Golden Mesh, so that's why they're playable. And Tri Brigade is a really good matchup because you have negates and you have bounces, so they can truly. If you win the die roll, they cannot win, and if you go second, you have Shifter, Ash, Impermanence, and it's still it's a very good matchup for Altergeist. And all the other decks are you don't have a bad matchup really. You really don't have a bad matchup. Drytron can be a bad matchup, but you main Strikes, which are really good against Drytron, and you play Rivalry in the main. So Drytron is not that hard of a matchup. You just break the board if you go second with Strike, and if you go first, I main Shifters. I think that Shifter is the best hand shape ever. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It doesn't have a bad matchup, so I think that's why it's really good this format. I have been playing it since the YCS. So.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, it's basically the standard lineup of Altergeist. So 3 Faker, 3 Marionetter, 3 Melu, 1 Silk, and 1 Conquerry. This is the perfect matchup. I would never touch any of this. But the only card you can touch like Marionetter, you always sided out one Marionetter and one protocol. Yeah, one protocol because you need space.
And you would
Like
keep
that's
two
the
silk?
only. Yeah, I would keep two silk because if you draw a silk, if you play only one, your faker is just so much worse.
Okay.
Uh, and it's not really good normal summon when you have Melsic and Marionetter, so you don't want to normal summon silk unless if you have to.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. But you can always side out one silk if you need space. For the hand traps, I played triple the best card and triple Ash and three impermanence, but that's in the trap card.
Okay.
This is like the best card this format. It says if you draw it, you're going first no matter what. Like if you lose the dry roll and open shifter, you just draw it and they pass the turn. So that's why it's so good in Altergeist. It conflicts with Melsic, but it's much better for you than it is for them. Because
That's
even if you
true.
can't
Yeah.
Melsic, they cannot set up, and most of the time like they'll use one card. So like if you're playing against I don't know Drytron, you rarely play this in the standby phase because of Gamma. You want them to commit like to the normal summon or something, and then you can change shifter on a lot of things, and it just is amazing.
Well, in random matchups, I guess against Drytron, you're not really scared of Gamma, but in other matchups, yeah.
Yeah, in random matchups,
Yeah.
you have to wait till main phase. Like you do leave yourself vulnerable to triple tactics, but the decks that play triple tactics are mostly Tri Brigade. I think that Tri Brigade is like the only meta deck that would main triple tactics.
Yeah.
And
Maybe
in that
virtual or
matchup, like
sometimes pranks, but yeah.
they can't. All of the decks can play against shifters. So like
That's also
even
true.
if they
Yeah.
do even if they do triple tactics you after the shifter, they're realistically just hand looping you for one, and you trade one for one, which is really good when you play a deck like that's like based on because you will eventually outgrind them. So if you keep trading one for one, your cards always most of your cards will go one for two. So that's like the best thing. The only spell is triple extravagance. I was playing the prosperity before, but I was also manning the secret village. So prosperity like had more sense because you want to search out the imperial order and secret village. But with this, I think that extravagance is just better because it's a drop too.
What about duality?
Uh,
Like, was that like an old thing for Altergeist and one for one and things like that?
there's really no space for that card.
Okay.
Like I would play like one duality, but I really couldn't buy space. Like I cut a lot of cards to make the list. So
Okay.
yeah, I played two spoofing, two protocol, and one what's this called manifestation.
Okay, so two spoofing. We already talked about that,
Yeah.
but just for the people, like,
Um,
why?
so I think that like spoofing, drawing multiple is horrible. That's
Okay.
the first of it. Like it's not an Altergeist card, so you cannot spoofing away the spoofing. Uh, every single one now is siding twin twisters, so
Yeah.
you'll get if you get twin twisters on spoofing, it lasts -3 because they'll pop your spoofing another card and you lost a card from your hand. And there's not really much things you can ash in this deck, like outside of Melosic and spoofing. It's pod, but because Faker activates and Field Protocol protects it, but so this leaves you like playing two spoofing, get you out of brick hands from like drawing two spoofing and drawing another spoofing of extravagance and stuff like that. And I didn't find like the need to play the third one because it's really not needed. You just break if you do more, and everybody knows that this is the card Twin Twisters and Ash, so you're going -1 on this card already, so not that good playing on 3.
Okay, that makes sense.
So yeah, I said 3 impermanence. I want 2, so I don't have them on me.
Yeah.
Like the staple, it's Faker impermanence. If you draw it, you win.
Did you?
I don't think, but I did draw 3 impermanence. I did draw triple impermanence in the top 8 match, and still I drew triple impermanence, Solemn Judgment, and Shifter, game one when I was going first and
Mm-hmm.
lost to dragons. So
Oh,
yeah,
you okay, okay.
yeah, I didn't draw any ancient cards.
Yeah, okay.
So triple strike and double judgment, like is
Mm-hmm.
the Solemn Brigade. I
Mm-hmm.
cut this down to two because I found I didn't play rivalry in my YCS list
Okay.
or when I was playing extravaganzas and that. I didn't play rivalry because I just thought that Secret Village was better.
Mm-hmm.
But later I saw that rivalry is good even when going second because it will break most of the boards.
Mm-hmm.
And this like is half life points, so you really leave yourself vulnerable after this. So
That's true.
you two is just enough.
Mm-hmm.
Then I played the best card ever, the Imperial Warder.
Yeah,
If you draw this card, you win.
true.
Uh, and triple rivalry. So this is like the only good fault gate you can play except for you can play Gozen, you can play Cosmos, Fissure, and stuff like that
Mm-hmm.
because Spell Shifter is only for one turn. Those
Mm-hmm.
cards stick, and you want to be able to search with your Melosic and
Mm-hmm.
Marinetter's effect in the grave.
Mm-hmm.
It just cuts off too many cards.
Mm-hmm. But overall, how did
And
it work
then
out for you against, for example, different matchups?
I drew it twice.
Oh,
I drew it
okay.
twice.
So
Like
in theory, it worked.
in theory, it worked. Like the matchups where I drew it, like I drew it against Frankie's game too,
Oh.
and like it's just
Mm-hmm.
win because
Mm-hmm.
I had shifter. I was going first. I
Mm-hmm.
shifted and Marinetter set four. He
Mm-hmm.
just passed turn, and then I just set up a double Hexia and had driver with strike set, and he
Oh,
can
that's
he can
horrible.
he can never play through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can never play through it.
No.
And the last two cards are two Torrential Tribute. Like
Mm-hmm.
this is just a blood card, and people don't really expect it.
Yeah, they don't.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
they don't. They never respect like Torrential Tribute in cards like that because you
Yeah.
can bluff like you don't have anything, and they will commit to a play and then just
Mm-hmm.
get blown out of with Torrential Tribute.
Especially if you don't use it immediately. If you just wait,
Yeah, you always
then
wait
it's
with it.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
you never use this card immediately. Like
Mm-hmm.
Torrential Tribute is mostly like you have it set, and people will think it's a bluff. Like they'll think you had double spoofing, you had double protocol or
Mm-hmm.
something,
Protocol or
and
something,
they will
yeah.
just yeah they will just play into Torrential Tribute. So that's why it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
For the extra depth, which is pretty much horrible. Didn't have access code or Celine, but
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Did you feel the need for it,
So
or did you not miss it?
I never missed it, but
Okay.
I think that in a longer term setup, there will definitely come a time when you need like Celine access code,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't really need this tournament.
Okay.
So it's triple Hexia, like this
Mm-hmm.
is the best card of your deck.
Mm-hmm.
It searches and it's a negate, like
Mm-hmm.
just amazing card overall. Um, double Unicorn, one Cerberus, and double Phoenix.
Well, I mean, you do.
Uh,
If you have anything, you have space. So.
yeah, you have like this is for extra. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'll get like and for the fours I play like Zeroboros and Appaloosa,
Okay.
and I would realistically cut the Zeroboros and one Unicorn
Mm-hmm.
for Celine and access code.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I would change in the extra deck. In the main deck, I don't think I would change anything. I think the main deck is kind of perfect right now.
Great. That's
But we'll
nice.
see how the format. We'll see how the format goes. Maybe there will be some changes.
Yeah.
The Dragoon out.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really make any Dragoon outs. This is the only thing you can out it with. And then for the Wink ones, it's double Inkuribo, one Anima, and Almirage.
Mm-hmm.
This only comes up in like niche scenarios when you either
Mm-hmm.
banish these two, or you have a silk on board and you have the manifestation engraved.
Mm-hmm.
You can loop the silk for the manifestation and then
Mm-hmm.
have a bounce whenever. So
Okay.
it's just niche situations, and it's like this is a real good card in this deck because Melosic can like pop one and then you have Anima. So Melosic is basically, if they don't play around Anima, Melosic is basically like +3 because you have add, you pop, and you take one card.
True. That's true. And people usually don't respect Anima. I mean, I've never seen people
Yeah,
respect Anima.
yeah, they just play into it.
Mm-hmm.
For the side deck, I played one Pink,
Mm-hmm.
triple Gamasiel. Like this is, I think Gamasiel is really good in decks like this because you can whoop it. You can bounce your own Gamasiel with Silk,
Mm-hmm.
and like Pink is just a good card overall in
True.
controllers decks
Yeah.
because it always trades 1 for 2. It always trades 1 for 2.
Mm-hmm. True.
So that's basically the out cards. Then I played the triple Contact C.
Mm-hmm.
So like this is a really good card in this format
Yeah, it's becoming a
because
staple for sure.
yeah, because Tri Brigade lock themselves into Beasts, Wing Beasts, and Beast Warriors, and you just play Contact C on the special summon, and they cannot play anything else that turn. They have
Yeah,
to.
because they can't use it. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, they can't use it, so they pass their turn. Then I played double Psycho Raider. I would play 3, but I didn't play. I didn't have space in my side deck.
Okay.
Not Lancia, Draw is not that good in Altergeist because it doesn't take out any of their.
I mean,
Any
if
of
you can't
their what's called.
OTK, like, I don't think it's worth running
Yeah,
Draw in Striker,
you.
in Altergeist, and things like that.
Yeah, they have their all resources still in hand, so you cannot really
Yeah, they just play the next turn.
benefit. Yeah, you don't benefit out of drawing them. Well, this takes out 2 cards from them. Then I played Double Secret Village and Metaverse. You always side this in when going first because everybody's siding Lightning Storms, Twin Twisters, Harpy's Feather Duster, and this card just wins you games of that. If you like open Melosic, Anima is also a spellcaster. Like that, that's also a part that comes up.
Yeah.
It's also a part that comes up when you open Melosic while going first in like a Metaverse or Secret Village. You can link into Anima to have spellcaster on board and plays a village, and you'll just get so much advantage of it. It's really hard to play through Altergeist that don't let you play spells.
True.
And then I sided triple even.
Okay.
So this is just a blowout card when going second, and it pairs nicely with Kaijus. Because if you draw like even with Kaiju, you can out-earn the gate and just blow out their board. So it really does pair up nicely with Kaijus.
Well, nice.
So yeah, that's pretty much the list. I didn't really have any special attacks. Like,
I mean, it's Altergeist. Like, there's only so much
it's
you
out
can
there.
do.
You can't like the only thing that I'm kind of thinking about adding is when the new set comes out. I'm not sure what the name is. That
What, Burst of
Phoenix
Destiny?
Enforcer guy.
Yeah, Phoenix Enforcer. Yep.
Yeah, so yeah, like because you don't really have anything to special summon after it, you can just end on Marionetter and the pop. So, but I will see about that because it's 5 cards, out of which 2 are bricks, pretty much.
That's true, yeah. But you don't mind being locked into heroes. So if you just normal summon and use Fusion Destiny, you're just chill, and that's it.
Yeah, yeah, you just get a pop. You never play into Nibiru and stuff like that.
Obviously, yeah.
The best thing about Altergeist is like you are really resilient to hand trap.
True.
You're really resilient to hand traps, and now people are playing like triple impermanence, triple ash,
Veiler and
triple
things like
Veiler,
that for Tri Brigade, and you don't care about that.
Veiler, and you don't care about that. Like Ghost Bell, does nothing against you. You have
True.
like the only card that they can realistically Ghost Bell is the manifestation of the second effect of Marionetter, but you don't lose up anything on that. Like you just trade 1 for 1. Like Marionetter doesn't even trade; he just takes the card out of the hand.
True.
So yeah, like that's pretty much it. Like there's nothing really special about guys. They're just in a really good place right now.
True, but you also need to be good to pilot it, I think. Like you need to be skilled to play control decks because you need to know what other decks do to know how to disrupt them.
With Altergeist, like the most important thing is to know when to disrupt certain decks.
Yeah.
Because you can't really just blow out your cards and hope for the best.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have to really you have to really like think about what against what deck, because against Drytron, most of people will like bounce their Exceed monster and stuff like that, but you kind of have to wait for the. If you're going first, you kind of have to wait for their Anaconda, because Dragoon is so hard to out with Altergeist.
True.
Uh, you don't main deck any cards that out Dragoon outside Ningirsu. So it's, and you normally have access code, but I didn't have it for a tournament.
Yeah.
But both of the cards are really hard to get into with Altergeist. And it just like you have to be careful how you manage your resources. That's also why I played double spoofing, because as I said, that card usually gets hand trapped and you just go -1. So, and I really wanted to like cut down on the cards that are breaks pretty much. So
Well,
yeah,
breaking an Altergeist just hurts when you draw too many monsters or too many traps and you just can't do anything.
yeah, like you really can't. You can't really, as I said, like in the top cut, I draw like triple impermanence, judgment, and shifter, and you cannot play with that hand. You just need one of your engine cards and you can play, but with zero you can't.
That's true.
That's the main problem. That's the main problem the deck has. So I tried to minimize it. I honestly think it's a really good deck in this format because, as I said, you don't have any bad matchups. Like all the meta decks are at least a 50-50.
Yeah,
And if you somehow go against Sky Striker is a buy. But if you ever end up, the mirror match is the only thing that's disgusting. If you end up in a mirror match, that's just unplayable.
But thankfully, there probably aren't many mirror matches happening right now.
Yeah, there probably will not be many mirror matches, but that's just who is the better Altergeist pilot. That's pretty much it. It's a disgusting matchup.
True.
The only other bad matchup is like Drytron when going second. Everything else is fine, because Drytron can like end on Dragoon and Herald, and you have to draw specifically Strike and Drive early to break through the board.
Yeah, that's true. The combination of this works.
Yeah, that's just the specific card. Or you could draw Torrential Tribute, but if they know what they're doing, they're not going to run into Torrential. They'll just go attack you. And that's also why I didn't play like many hand traps. And I decided to play Shifter Ash and Impermanence, because Ghost Belt trades 1-for-1, Digicrow trades 1-for-1. Nibiru is just horrible because every good deck plays around Nibiru, and if you're playing against
plays around Nibiru.
Yeah, like, and Shifter pretty much does the same thing as Nibiru, just it does it better.
True, yeah, and it combats so many good decks. Like every single deck you lose to Shifter, I think.
Yeah, like if your deck can play Shifter, you need to play Shifter. Like it's just such a blowout card this format. I honestly think like it's a really good deck this format. Like,
no, it is for sure. Like the fact that you can run Rivalry and Shifter, that's busted. Well, yeah. Thank you for coming on the channel and giving us a bit of Altergeist, not spice, but just Altergeist. Just Altergeist.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course, and please, come again. You're very welcome here.
Thank you.
Well, for all of you, if you learned maybe anything new about Altergeist, make sure to give the video a like and also a sub. Check out Twitch as always, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.